Hello boys, girls, MBs, I'm Zenpai, welcome to my channel. Today we have a clip of Vox Akuma, of Vox talking about Nina's graduation. I thought Vox to me is a very insightful and, I feel like a very grounded and insightful person. So I definitely want to, I want to see what Vox has to say on the, situation. But obviously, please do not go and, pressure other livers, mention Nina's graduation in other livers' chats and things like that. Only if the liver themselves speaks on the topic, and then obviously that's fine. Obviously I think there may be some members, I think all the members at Niji are probably sad. Some people may be struggling more than others, but I think it's out of respect to not, obviously it's a rule not to bring up other livers in chats, but also the fact that this is a sad situation for a lot of the members in Niji, and that it might, they might be streaming that sometimes, take their minds off of the sadness of Nina graduating, and maybe kind of annoying to just, can kind of be annoying, just spam, say people just spammed in their chat, oh my god, what do you think of Nina's graduation? What do you think of Nina's graduation? People are kind of annoying, but yeah, so we're going to be checking out what Vox has to say about Nina's graduation. So yeah, if you do anyone join this video, please consider subscribing and joining if you join our channel. Yeah, I am interested in what Vox has to say on this.
Also, I know you've all done a really good job, by the way. I know that there's a lot going on for us at the moment, and I really appreciate the fact that, in accordance with etiquette, none of you have, I've not seen it brought up, and that's wonderful. But I did kind of want to touch on it a little bit because Nina is a really close friend to me, and I just want to talk about how it's been making me feel, because I think that we're all in need of a group hug.
A group hug.
And
group
I
hug.
think that I have a good outlook on this kind of thing. So I just sort of wanted to talk a little bit about how this whole thing has made me feel, and I think that how it's making me look forward to the future. So we've said everything that we could ever possibly say about Nina. She's our mom. She calls herself unofficial mom, but I think
she is the official mom, yeah.
Mother of everyone.
Yeah.
No matter how old they are, no matter how young they are, she's someone who looks after everybody. And especially for Luxiem, she was there when we were first added to the Niji Discord. And Nina was the first one who came and spoke to us. I think that because we were the first boys joining EN...
Yeah, that makes sense. A different, dynamic, yeah.
Before we joined, There are boys joining, and, it felt like it
yeah,
was
that would make sense,
so
yeah.
There's a pretty reasonable level of anxiety. It makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Nina was the first one who jumped in VC with us, and she's so extroverted, and she's so she just made sure that we were included, and she invited us all to collabs, and she came up with so many ideas for how to make us feel included, and I'll always appreciate her for that, and I'll always regret not collabing with her more while I had the chance. From what I know, she's going to be doing a lot over the next couple of weeks before her big day, and in that time I'm going to try and turn up for as much as I can, even though I'm going to be on a trip. I'm going to bring my
next couple of weeks, in 11 days, I think it's next Friday or something.
Laptop. I'm going to bring my mic, and if she's doing something, I'm going to try my best to be there. But I think that when it comes to the subject of her moving on, there's so much heartbreak, and that's because
it's someone's dying.
Graduation is heartbreaking, right? It's someone you might.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, a lot of people act like the person's dying. I don't know, I get that it's sad, but it's one of those things that I feel like it's a natural thing. I guess I'm not completely devastated by it, 'cause it's just a fact, right? It's just a fact that at some point everyone is going to move on, and some may move on quicker than others. It depends, I feel on, sometimes people are at different points in their lives, and sometimes, this might, being in this place, staying in Niji for forever long might be a satisfactory, thing for these people in their lives, but for some people like Nina, it may just not be for her anymore, and that she needs to spread her wings and leave the mother's nest and do things for herself, and that's completely understandable,
To being around, moving on. But I think that for me, what I've seen from this community since the announcement is just so much.
Yeah, I've been some very positive.
No matter how popular we are at a given moment, no matter how much we do, no matter how many viewers we pull, no matter how big our events get, no matter how many super chats we get, sometimes it can be difficult to forget just how many people know who you are.
Yeah, that's crazy
and
to
this
think.
Applies to everybody, even if you're not a VTuber, if you're just a normal person, sometimes you can forget just how many people know of you, and who like you in your life. And this is not true for anyone more than it's true for Nina, because I mean,
yeah, I feel like that can be true, because like sometimes you don't, like, if this makes sense, you don't really know how many people in your life you do impact and you have an impact on. And I feel like a lot of the time, sometimes you don't realize how much people that you really do have an impact on until you really see it. It's kind of nice. It's like until like something like this happens and you're like, oh, like I'm leaving, I'm graduating, then it's like, then it's like only when it hits you, it's like, oh, all of these people really did care about me.
Talk about how VTubing is a niche, and this is true, obviously. But good God, if it doesn't feel like every single VTuber fan, streamer came out of the woodwork to remind everyone how much they loved her, and how much they still do, how huge her impact was, who she knew, who she influenced. And I have to say, even though it is heartbreaking to say goodbye, I think I walked away. I went to sleep yesterday with a smile, because I was reminded of how much love there is in this community, and how much attention that we do have, and how, in spite of when sometimes things kind of quiet down for a while, the voices that rise to the top tend to be the negative ones. Sometimes people who are happy can be content and can be quiet, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's those voices who say the wrong things, who say bad things, that kind of never really do quiet down. And so you tend to hear them a lot more when there's not much going on. But God, just how much warmth we saw.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad. Nina deserves it.
Just reading through the replies to her tweet and reading through the comments on the stream that she did, and the amount of people that I recognized and people that I didn't, who all were celebrating the time that they knew her. It was incredible. And even though it is heartbreaking, it was heartwarming at the same time. And I'm really happy that that is the takeaway from this situation. So if I obviously I don't want to talk too much more, because it's a very emotional subject, and obviously it's not me who's going anywhere.
Right.
I'm staying, creatively I'm satisfied. But the nicest part of all of this is to know that, people move on sometimes.
Yeah. And I feel like in a sense, it's like if the person that's moving on, is moving on for themselves, it's kind of like a happy occasion in a sense of like, okay, they're doing this for themselves, and they're gonna move on, and they're gonna do great and amazing things, and it's for their own happiness and for their own satisfaction in life. Like it's sad to say goodbye, but at the same time, I think it's good to be happy for them, because hey, they're going to go out there and go out into the world and do amazing and fantastic things. And I think that Nina's definitely going to go out there and do that, and it's on her own accord, it's on her own decision, in order for her to be happy, and it's for her own happiness. And I mean, that's and that's great for her. And it's sad. I feel like it's like I feel like in ways it's like a high school graduation. It's like it's sad to say goodbye, but also at the same time you can be hopeful and happy for the future and look forward to the future. And what lies ahead.
And she is doing this for her own happiness. She's doing this because she wants something more out of her life, and no one stays in the same place for their whole life. I mean, some people do, but
yeah,
she needs to do this for herself. In VTubing, in this community, we have a tendency to treat graduation
like someone died.
like a funeral.
Yeah, it's like literally like someone died. Like
we have a tendency to let it feel like the world is ending. But where else in the world do we have a graduation? Well, when it's from a place that you learn, maybe it's university or high school or whatever.
Oh, that's what I said.
And graduation is a celebration.
Yeah.
It's a moment where you look back on the memories that you made, you appreciate.
I feel like it kind of is true though. You can kind of actually contribute it to like this. It's like a celebration of this period of time in your life, and now it's time to open a new door to new things and new possibilities in your life. It kind of can be, in a sense, be kind of like a school graduation. It's like looking back on and celebrating the memories of this period of your life that and this period of time that you've spent together with people, with your the members in Niji and the community, and then now it's time to open up a new door and to go into new possibilities in your life. And I feel like that's very much like graduation for like school. It kind of feels, it does feel like kind of like the same thing.
Far you've come, and you look forward to what's coming next. You say goodbye with tears,
but it's a new beginning,
that you befriended, to the people who carried you along your way. But at the end of the day, it's met with a feeling of excitement, because there will be something new on the horizon. And if I know Nina, if I know her ability to bring people together, if I know her ability to make friends,
she's gonna do amazing.
and to make people like me, who joined and were very shy, feel included. If anyone can do that, it's her. She will find love wherever she goes. And I'm very proud of her. I always will be.
Aww.
I've got a big smile
That's
on
really
because
sweet.
I got all my tears out yesterday.
Aww.
I think everyone else did as well. I don't know. I imagine lots of people will still be crying. But yeah, those are my thoughts about it. It's a bittersweet time, and it's difficult for everyone to have to get used to change. But change happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, change always happens.
The thing to remember is that even though we spend a lot of time together, and even though I share a lot of my thoughts and feelings with you,
you don't know
never
everything.
Really know what's going on inside your
you don't know everything. You don't. You don't know what's going on in someone's personal life.
They have their own life and relationships and friendships.
100%.
And
100%.
family and
you don't truly know. You don't know.
Sometimes you just can't. Well, most of the time you can't get the true breadth and experience and understanding of through a screen. There's always a lot more going on than you're aware of.
Yes, 100%.
A lot of people are fighting a battle that you know nothing about.
It's an invisible battle. It's like
my
you don't know.
message is to try not to cry. If you need to, it's all right. But remember that, we're here to deliver a magical new experience. And sometimes when a person wants to move on, they move on. So treasure
the
your
time that you
Oshis
have
while
together.
You have them. Turn up to their streams.
Support
them in whatever way you're able to. That's my thoughts and opinions on that. As for me, I want to reassure you that I do not plan on going anywhere for an extremely long time.
Yay!
I have too many big ideas. The thing about being a part of a corporation is that the support that I get here, you know, the way that I am managed by managers and the way that I'm sort of given a few restrictions but also given support in different ways, this environment works perfectly for me, and I'm very happy here. I'm very happy, even if things, even if
I think Vox worded that in a good way. It's like the way that he said, oh, he has I have a support system, and this works for me. I like the fact that he said that, because it doesn't work for everybody. This sort of system may not be the right fit for everyone, but it's the right fit for Vox and for him. And I think that was a nice way of putting it. Instead of just saying like, oh well, yeah, I get support, and it's like this is like, this is great. This is like great help. But he said this is good for me personally, and I think that was a good way of like wording it. Because obviously it may not work out for everybody, and that might have nothing to do with the support system being bad. It might just be like, well, this doesn't personally work for that person, which is completely fine. Obviously, being in a corp might not be for everybody. We can see a lot of people who may prefer to be indie VTubers because that's what just works for them. They like the freedom.
Things aren't always perfect, and even if I have to deal with some of my own issues sometimes, even if I have to take breaks sometimes, obviously every path in life, every hobby, every career, it has its pitfalls.
Has its cons and negatives.
One, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to be here for quite a few more years, I think. And again, just because I know it's a sensitive subject, I want to remind you that I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, that was Vox is a very insightful person. I think he has a very, a very insightful and I think a great way with words. I think he talked about that really well, honestly. But so I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy this video, please consider like, subscribe, and join the community channel. And let me know in the comments, what do you think of Nina's graduation? What do you think of what Vox had to say on the topic? What do you guys think of VTuber graduations and for VTubers kind of moving on with their lives? But thank you guys so much for watching. Please do consider liking, subscribing, and joining the community channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.